Hi, all. Welcome back to the 27 and oh so soon. The end of the month continues to be a busy time for RISA and the AMS2 community. We're going to be briefly talking about the latest development update dropped yesterday, highlighting some of the things that stood out for me, including one major thing that could potentially affect your wallet. All right, so let's get into the update. These things are really fascinating because the way that Renato Simeone presents these announcements, it doesn't feel cold. They kind of set the tone for the game. If you know what I mean, it's alive. These are real people. It's not robots telling you you get this, you don't get that. Period. They share their success and struggles in sort of like a human way. Let's start off with the 2020 roadmap. They titled it "Fast but Steady." To add some context, they said in the last update that they'd be scaling back content-wise in 2021 and focusing on developing existing content, and that's great. Um, and then they come out of the box throwing just massive haymakers at us. GT1s, bam. Janettas, bam. And then Group C is on the way, bam. If this is scaling back content, I need to know what they sprinkle in their Cheerios in Brazil. I really do. They'll be releasing 2 to 3 new cars and tracks and one track per month for the rest of 2021. Now, that includes DLCs. Since math is my strong suit, guys, that's 24 to 36 cars and 12 tracks in 2021. That being said, what those cars and tracks are going to be, we won't know because they're not releasing the roadmap for 2021 until probably next update. It looks like they need some more time to line up some licensing deals in order to finalize it. These roadmaps cause so much controversy, it's not even funny. Anyway, I don't envy Renato. It's a catch-22 with these kinds of things, but I appreciate it either way. Just a licensing agreement for one logo on one car. It could for one company it could be like, yeah, yeah, sure, here you go. The next company it may need to go through their marketing department and then they go to their legal team for red line revisions. It could get crazy. And I think if you look back at all of the previous development updates, they all mention licensing in there, sometimes multiple times. What this reads to me, though, is that they're constantly shifting the content release schedule behind closed doors, so it's never really set in stone. Not only based on just production of the content, but based on these agreements and anything else that could come their way. But let's just say that you're the kind of guy that doesn't care about that stuff. Just get it done. Well, here's what they're going to do for us. All season pass holders will be getting all of the 2022 DLCs for free. That means stuff that we don't even know about. We're getting it. For me here in the States, that represents $50 hard cash savings. Let's talk about the end of February, the end of next month, and what's going to be released. The first Spa historic variant, and interestingly enough, they're going to go with the 1993 version as opposed to the 1991 version. And they explain that's because the 1993 they have a better quality reference materials and better track flow information. I think it has something to do with the curbs through the bus stop chicane. I like the historic curbs, but I hate them. I very much hate them at the same time, if you know what I mean. But I'm looking forward to that. Cars wise, it looks like we're going to get 2 cars from some obscure racing class that no one has ever heard of called what is it? Group C. The Sauber Mercedes C9 and the Porsche 962C, featuring the iconic Rothmans Porsche livery. This livery is tight, by the way. I mean, if you really want to criticize, they could hold these liveries up for DLC. That wouldn't shock me in the least. But they are giving these to us. The other flip side of the coin would be there's going to be 20 Rothmans Porsches on the grid when you're racing. So they're also going to be releasing the 1990 Omega Stock Car Series, which is a Brazilian stock car series. And the way they explain it, this is the last pre-prototype year, meaning that these cars are actually based on the production vehicles. That's actually pretty neat. Honestly, I think it's kind of funny to see headlights painted on custom race cars to make it look like the production car, like you see nowadays, especially in NASCAR and things like that. I think it's funny. Finally, they're going to give us a glimpse into March, in which I think they're pretty excited to announce that the custom championship tool is going to appear. People are going to love this. I certainly hope they normalize the AI pace across the tracks, though. I know that that issue is in virtually every other racing game that features a championship series, where one track you could be right on pace, the next track the AI blows you away. Part of that is on the driver as well. I guess they would just have to collect massive data from all of us about pace and hopefully keep incorporating that into the AI as best as they can. And then a minor little blurb at the end. They're going to be improving the live track and weather systems. If you're curious, do some research into Live Track 3.0. It's a bit black boxy, but there's some really neat stuff with it. The things that they can do is specifically with weather, like they can have tracks half wet and half dry. The rain is actually coming from a real cloud, or I guess not real, but you know what I mean. Like they actually program a cloud that travels over a track, and then certain parts of the track can get saturated while others absorb the water better. It's really cool stuff. So that's it. That's the January 2021 development update. As far as the channel is concerned, I should have a default setup analysis for both the Janettas by this Saturday. So far, the time spent in them, I've really enjoyed it. There's always room for improvement, though, setup wise, so we'll see what we can do. I'm currently in a heavy quality control phase for all of my previously published setups, and I plan to release revamped versions of my GT3 setups for Spielberg, Hockenheim, and brands. I'm also going to be looking at the GT1s just briefly. I don't expect any changes there. I believe the Porsche Cups are good. I'm a little bit concerned because of the last patch, but they should be just fine. A good habit for all of you would be if, say, you're going back to one of my older videos because you just started driving that car at that track, check the description. I'll do my best to keep them updated there, especially if it's like a simple revision, like brake bias or something. It would where it wouldn't warrant a brand new video post. So keep that in mind. In the meantime, thanks for stopping by again, and take care.